Check, check. We're hitting a little quick one. Hitting a quick LS. Quick live stream, baby. What is Dave Blunt's going on about? You know what I mean? What is he pouting about? I don't believe it. We're hitting a quick one. We had a long day. Crazy, insane day after a nice weekend. Not a bad day at all. But just busy, baby. Busy, busy, busy. Let's hit the Patreon. Tell everybody I'm live. All right, cool. How is everybody's week going? Nice start to the week. Yeah, Rapture Day. What's going on with that? What's going on today? What's going on? Dave Bluntz is saying crazy stuff about Ye, which is just not true. I mean, that's an insane one. People are screaming that the Rapture's going on tomorrow. Come on. Come on, dude. That's not going to happen. You know, I got something to talk about a little bit eventually this week. Maybe it's this week. This week, I'm not sure the video, like the main video, if it's going to be, I might do one on Karl Marx. I have a big video on Karl Marx I've been kind of working on. But it might be potentially on this other thing, which is kind of has to do with like psyops. And the Rapture thing would be in line with the psyop stuff. We're achieving like breakaway speed, right? The psyops have to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They have to, because we are hip to their trip. We're hip to their game, dude. We're too hip. In early, that's right. Well, I mean, so Jacob said, can't be no rapture till the man of sin reveals himself. Well, according to some, we're in the little season, which means the man of sin would have already revealed himself. You know, maybe it was Nero. Maybe Nero declared himself Zeus in the Second Temple. Some believe that. There's actually that sort of ideology is pretty interesting. I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's some sort of block I have with fully going with that one, and I don't know if it's just sort of a cognitive dissonance thing. Very much could be. Very well could be that. You know? But, new Ye documentary is out and about. Kind of want to see it. But how's everybody's day going? I guess it's kind of over now. I'm hitting this one late. I never start this late. Jay Dyer, I like Jay Dyer. I think Jay Dyer is cool. I think he's pretty smart guy. He's got a lot of good stuff. They Live. I know these are my They Live glasses. Me wearing the sunnies is a reference to They Live. It's also because when I get tired, I have a lazy eye, and I'm often recording at like fucking 2 a.m. So, but yeah. You know, my new stance. This is my new stance. I like everybody. Okay? You know, last week I mistakenly, said somebody was something that I didn't even really fully believe. I got back to him, and I feel bad about it. So just only nice words, and if there's someone I don't even particularly dislike people. That's like something that I've kind of came to a realization recently. I don't even particularly like dislike, like whatever, Candace Owens or whoever it is, right? Like some of their ideas I don't like, but I think the recent events just people don't like people. There's enough people not liking people. We already got enough of that. I don't need to throw my shit on the pile too. So, yeah, I'm a big Carhartt guy. And the Carhartt, that's another thing. I'm always getting shit lately. I've been getting shit about what I wear so much. Whether it's the Carhartt, whether it's the Austin Babbitt ass pizza, whether it's my own brand, the Ystar. You know? But we'll see. Someone said Candace is right. I think that's we can take little bits and pieces of everybody and learn from everybody, even the people we don't like. We can learn things, how not to be is a way of being, right? So that's another thing. But yeah. We're kind of hitting this one because I had a super long day and I drank way too much caffeine, and I'm just like, my brain is zooming right now. So I was like, I need to get some of this energy out. LA Apparel's a good brand. Yeah, it's LA Apparel is, if you know your history about LA Apparel, you might need to be a little bit more weary of them. You know what I mean? They have the Dove Charney, pretty great. Charney is the last name, right? What is his last name? Dove. Is it Charney? What's his last name? Yeah, Dove Charney. Okay. Yeah, I got the zoomies. Public Law. 102, 104. I'm not sure. What is that? I do know the history, but American Apparel got sold to some Canadian brand. Yeah, him. It's just it didn't get sold. It just became LA Apparel. American Apparel became LA Apparel. To my knowledge. It's overall probably some luge harvesting ritual. Yo, camera is done. What did that happen? What's going on with this? The heck? Ugh, let me fix this camera. Hang on. What the heck? All right, let's get the other camera rolling. Hang on a sec. Sweet. We got to go here. There we go. All right, cool. I think we're good while the VHS rewinds itself. We're good to go. Izzy coin when? Ha, nah, man. I ain't hitting no crypto. Sorry. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. And we don't need it. We don't need no coins, brother. We don't need that. We don't need no coins, man. Yeah, I think that they can hijack AI. I don't really, I don't know. I think it's more about how you're using it. I think if you're interfacing with AI, you have to approach everything with caution, right? Spiritually. The David stuff in your song Cocaine is some pretty crazy shit. Yeah, definitely. Definitely something going on there. I don't believe in coincidences, and I don't believe in a lot of synchronicities are going on constantly. And I'm actually dropping another song here pretty soon. I probably should be working on the music video for it right now. But I got to drop another song and have all these people freak out again and tell me what I'm supposed to be doing with my life and everything else, you know. They don't understand the artistic journey that is my music and what I'm doing with it. So they yell and tell me what's going on, you know. I can see your chat. Your chat's on the screen, dude. I'm talking about. Your chat's right there on the screen. Josh Moon. I don't know who Josh Moon is. Who is Josh Moon? Josh Moon. Let's see who Josh Moon is. Investigative reporter. What's up with Josh Moon? Yeah, I don't know much about the revelation, the rapture thing. Who's the one saying the rapture thing? All I know is people are posting the rapture like video link, and I think it's so funny because this person's like, we're gonna get raptured up, and then it's like, donate to some like fucking the founder of Kiwi Farms. Yeah. I think I was on Kiwi Farms for a minute. They had a thread about me from a long time ago. I hope they're not back at it. It was like something about like my old Twitter, like making fun of me or something. Izzy, bro, I don't like the truth. Can you please change it for me to fit my worldview so I don't have to go through immense and difficult change? Yeah, that's a big thing lately. There's so much going on right now, and everything is so emotionally charged and politically draining. A lot of people are facing a lot of cognitive dissonance, and at times myself too, you know. People are lashing out. People are emotional. They're angry. They're violent. You know, we're all kind of going through it, you know. I think sometimes we got to remember we have more in common than we do different. And, you know, it's interesting. Like, there's that one country in particular that the left is so mad at, the right is so mad at, for different reasons, and there's so many similarities. If we could just see that, things would be a little different. You know. Izzy, when you making a banger with The Help? Huh, what an interesting question. I was just, that's very weird timing. Why? Why? You got some inside knowledge or something? How do you know about that? That's, I'm on to you. Yeah, if you did write an article, I would totally check it out. If you sent it to me on Patreon, though, I'm not really doing, not really doing DMs anymore. What caused you to open your eyes beyond the veil of the physical life? I know your upbringing was likely a big part of it. Were you shaken awake, or did you always just kind of know without knowing? I mean, I had a lot of paranormal experiences as a kid. Like, just always weird things were happening. And then I was raised Catholic, and I had some experiences, you know, growing up. And then, you know, in college, I didn't go atheistic, but I went like bitter agnostic occultist kind of thing, and I was very like angry, and then as time went on, I kind of went more like this pagan thing, and then I was kind of nothing but pagan, and like mentally communing with kind of, I guess, what you would call demons. In college, when I was in my band and all that stuff, that was at college time too. I quote unquote sold my soul, right? No, and then my alcoholism and everything got really bad, and so yeah, I died from alcohol withdrawals basically, and then I became Christian. I literally met Christ, and I've been Christian ever since. But yeah, like as a kid, I would have night terrors, and I would like see stuff in my room, and very heavy, really weird stuff. So I've kind of always kind of had that. All atheists are bitter agnostics. I think there's a lot more to that. Let me set this camera back up, and we can go back to the VHS. Just a sec, everybody. Nah, but a song with the help would be really cool. That'd be fun. There we go. Yahtzee. Yeah, I think my bloodline's under spiritual attack for sure. I don't know what kind. I haven't really explored that. I mean, alcoholism runs super heavy in my family. There's been a lot of, I'm like Spanish and Dutch and Irish and Welsh. So there's a lot going on with that mix, There's a little French in there too. But my like great times 10 grandfather was he was like an evangelist conquistador. Technically an explorer. He wasn't really a conquistador. His name was Cabeza de Vaca, Alvarez Cabeza de Vaca. He came over with 300 men, and he landed in, I believe, what would be, I guess, Texas, from Spain, and then it dwindled down to 4. He was like captured and tortured, and the story's like super crazy, and that's like a super distant relative. But yeah, there's definitely some stuff going on there. I mean, I've had uncles who have died of alcoholism. My grandfather has alcoholism. I suffer from alcoholism. I've been sober for it's almost been 3 years now. So, no, I don't have any more in me, no. But yeah, he was an evangelist. He wasn't, I don't know. There's one book. What is it called? It's called the something. It's a book about him and everything that happened with him. It's pretty, But yeah, no, I think bloodlines, it's all about bloodlines. Like it really is. No offense, Matt. Half what I say is sarcastic. You're fine. I don't really, here's the thing. I will say this. I'm a very intense person, and sometimes the way I respond seems not how I am. Sometimes I'll disagree with somebody, and people will think I'm offended. I don't get offended. I really don't. I might get irritable. I might get angry. I don't get offended. Offended is never the word. So you guys don't have to worry about offending me. You would have to say something pretty crazy for me to be like offended. I kind of don't really take myself that. People think I like take myself really seriously, and they misinterpret my tone and think I'm like condescending and stuff. I really kind of don't take myself that seriously. I'm kind of a silly guy. Sarcasm is GAY. But yeah, no, yeah. Thanks for joining the lives, guys. I'm gonna try and go live, 4 or 5 days a week here. This is just a quick one because I feel like I'm fucking yayed out right now. What is the occult exactly? Oh boy, that's a really big question. The occult means hidden. So to say what it is exactly, there are many different types of hidden, you know. The occult, the way I would describe it, I guess, would be personally the hidden spiritual side of reality that you don't see. I think it's partly the weight of your video topics. Probably, yeah. Yeah, I think it is. I gotta just... Well, and I'm really intense. You know, I'm just a really intense person. And I think I just gotta breathe. I gotta enjoy. I gotta smell the roses. I mean, this weekend was the first weekend that I took a break and saw my family in like 8 months. Like, literally. So... First time I've seen my family in 8 months. That's how hard I go. Your episode on Tinfoil Hat was dope. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was a fun show. Tinfoil Hat's always really fun. I realized lately, like, I have a problem going on other people's shows because I'm so, like, autistic about the way that I explain things that when someone, like, says something, it throws me off, and then I lose where I was at. But, hey, there's a new vax. There's a new autism vax. I'm going to be fixed, guys. We're going to be okay. My therapist told me I was schizophrenic, so I stopped going. Holy shit, man. You sound awesome. Will we ever move into an era where the masses adopt the light instead of the dark? We're in one. We're in one right now. But it's not the light you're thinking. It's a synthetic light. It's a false light. I think I might leave Messianic Judaism for Christ. Been thinking about it a lot. Saw a lady doing Kabbalistic hand gestures toward the children. Yep. Not even being a hater. Your Messianic Judaism is in and of itself a contradiction, sort of, right? If you believe Christ is the Messiah and if he's the Messiah, he fulfilled the laws of Judaism, right? So you're almost there. It's like that last step. And once you understand that Judaism is following Kabbalistic methods and teachings and everything else, you know, you can kind of proceed from there. You know? If it's synthetic, then it's still dark, right? Yeah, it is. It's just pretending to be light, right? It's like the sun versus a light bulb, you know? So you're still in the light, but it's like when you see the sun, you're like, that's what it feels like. That's it, right? So that's, I describe it, that's what I call the meta aeon of Lucifer. Lucifer, you know, he thrives off of intellect. He's the light bringer. He brings the light, right? He brings a type of gnosis. So, you know, there's a lot going on there. You got to listen to more of my stuff, but that's what it is. So you're right on. You're right on the money. How are you, brother? I'm good. What's the Freemasonic connection to Jewish mysticism? Freemasonry is a lot of things. And in a big way, it's Kabbalah, you know? Kabbalah is the predecessor to Freemasonry. It's not so much the predecessor as it is the foundation of Freemasonry, right? So, someone's calling me. Hang on. All right. Sick man, when are the Ystar hats for sale? They're for sale now. My site just crashed. I have to get it back up and running. You can hit me up on Instagram if you'd like one, or on Patreon. All right. Let's see. Kabbalah isn't closed anymore. 1840 was not the start of Kabbalah. Kabbalah is way older than that. But Kabbalah was opened to non-Jews in 1993, I believe. It was either 93 or 95. 93 or 95. Kabbalah is older than Jewish mysticism, so that's kind of, Kabbalah goes way back. It goes farther than that. What do I think North America's biggest regret will be in 100 years? We're going to find out in the next 10 years. So, we're not there yet. We're about to find out if we're going to regret it or not. You know, if you want to know what's going to happen, sorry, I have like something kind of going on in the background right here. If you kind of want to know what's going to happen, rewind about 100 years and just look to Europe. Alchemy, I don't think alchemy didn't spawn from the Islamic world. Alchemy's it kind of depends, right? Kind of depends. I mean, Kabbalah existed with the Chaldeans, the Babylonians. Predates, goes all the way back to the Atlanteans. And the Kabbalists of today, have morphed it and twisted it from what it originally was, right? So, isn't it from Egypt? No. It's not from Egypt. It predates Egypt. Yeah, predates Egypt. You can go read Helena Blavatsky. Blavatsky talks about it. A lot of theosophists talk about it. Love you too, brother. Wait, what is this person saying? How does energy get from blood magic rituals, energetic harvesting rituals, manifest for them to use against us? How does energy they get from blood magic harvesting rituals manifest for them to use against us? Like, after they do the horrible shit, do they just like a Super Saiyan charge? Well, I mean, you're at like, I don't know like the literal metaphysics of, you know, magic. That's kind of a crazy question, but it's sort of like I don't want to use that example. Kind of like right now. Think about this. I drink a bunch of caffeine, so I have a lot of energy right now. I could choose to do a lot of things. I literally feel the energy like in my chest, right? And it's because I drank caffeine. So that is sitting inside of me. I am using that energy to do this live stream, right? That's very much the same way. You're transmuting energy, right? So if I do some sort of, let's say I sacrifice a chicken or something, that energy is channeled, right? And you transmute it. Someone mentioned alchemy earlier. That's what alchemy is. Alchemy really, as above, so below, right? As within, so without. So alchemy is an internal work. It's the great work, right? And then they also, turning lead into gold and whatever else. At Shamundi, I can't say that word, but I made a video on that already. What do I think about Sola Scriptura? I don't think that's... So Sola Scriptura is... the church predates the Bible, right? So Sola Scriptura in that way is kind of... It's silly. Like, the traditions are older than, the Bible. The Bible had to be put together. Need a Understanding Kabbalah series after the Marxist vids? Well, that's what the book is for. And it's not so much about, I'm not writing like a Kabbalah 101. Mine is more of examining how Kabbalah affects reality in ways we might not notice or whatever, right? It's inherently a magic system that completely like twists and warps reality. And it's very prevalent. All of the entire entertainment industry is just full of Kabbalists. There's so much going on. Alchem, the black art. Not how etymology works, but maybe you're right. I don't know. This is exactly why we need Jesus, because there is no temple to sacrifice anymore. Therefore, we are in a permanent state of sin without the blood of Christ. You're looking at that kind of... I say this respectfully, you're kind of looking at that in like a backwards way entirely. There is no temple to sacrifice anymore. But if you're a Messianic Jew, you believe Christ is God. So there was a temple when Christ died, right? There was already a temple there. So, and there was a temple after, right? For, 37 years, I think. I don't know if I'm doing the math right. So, that one's a little... I understand what you're saying, but you see the Pope telling people any religion is a path to heaven, which is anti-Christian. Jesus is the only way to the Father. I'm not even talking about the Pope at all, actually. I'm not even talking about Catholicism. I'm talking about the church, which includes Catholicism, right? I'm also not even really a big fan of the Pope, so that's kind of... Damn, what is up with this camera, dude? This camera is annoying. What's going on? Hang on. All right, we're going new school. We're going new school cam today. I don't have the patience for that. All right, here we go. We're back. I'm not doing that today. Too much. This is a short stream, so we don't have time to keep wasting, They took Charlie Kirk to Agartha via a warp drive device. That'd be cool, huh? That'd be cool. Yeah, and Pope Francis, he didn't. He kind of said that. He didn't say what the person is saying. He said he didn't not say it though either. So it's a gray area. It is misinterpreted, but it's not right. It's kind of a weird thing. But I kind of understand. He said that exactly. Well, I think what he was intending to say, and I'm not even making an excuse for him because I actually really don't like Pope Francis at all. I actually really despise him. I think what he was trying to say was that in all religions you can get to some form of God, right? Kind of like when like Trump says like I wish her well, Tim Dillon bit. I don't know, but all religions are paths to God. I will use an analogy. They are like different languages that express the divine. Right. So different languages expressing the same thing. I mean, that's kind of what I said, right? It's Kabbalistic doctrine from the Pope. Oh, no, I don't think you understand what Kabbalah is then. Kind of. Kabbalah is... you're kind of right, but I don't think that that's like a particularly Kabbalistic thing. Didn't Kirk have a tube under his shirt? I don't believe so. I personally don't believe that. Kabbalah is about pleasure maxing. That's not true. I don't think that that's denying. It's not specifically, but in a sense, denying the real God, Jesus. I don't see how that would be denying Jesus. Like those truths are not mutually exclusive in that way, right? Because if he's saying all religions are a path to God, that would include Christianity through Christ, right? But I don't know. I don't like Francis. I have a lot of problems with him. Pope Francis also did like a weird thing to Papema or whatever, a lot of weird globalist trash. So I don't know. There's a banned gospel that states the reason Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed was because they were into the occult and wanted to enlighten themselves. What gospel is that, and why is it banned? I think you need to look into that. Do you plan on ever going into politics? Do you mean like as a politician or like with the channel? I'm actually really curious as to what you mean, because I'm actually really curious as to what you mean. I feel like to go into politics, you have to be a particular kind of narcissist, and I like, I don't know, I really don't. I mean, I don't really believe in I don't believe in, I don't even know how to say this. I don't think that like the American political system operates as intended. I don't think it, well, it does operate as intended. I don't think it works today. I just, you know, as a politician, nah, man, I don't think I would ever do that. If I did, I mean, it would have to be something where it's like, because if I did, I would get, they would X me out so fast. I would end all relations with Israel. We would go pretty much full isolationist. Well, not isolationist entirely. It would be, yeah, you would see, yeah, I would get killed, dude. They would X me out so fast. I'd be like, Israel, oh, damn it, I said the word. You're gone. We're not doing that anymore. You're out of here. Like, I don't think I would be effective politically because everybody would just try to block everything I tried to do because what I would try to do would actually be helpful, you know? And I feel like we're at a point now where the politicians are not going to be the ones that are going to enact the change in reality that we want to see. Yeah, Brazilian lobbies would just fund the fuck out of my opponent, 100%. God wouldn't even let you do politics. That's so funny, yeah. Man, chat's popping today. Of course, like, the chat's popping today when I only have, like, a couple more minutes left. Yo, this is the nicest thing I think anyone's ever said about me. Izzy is Daniel, who outshined and put all the king's ministers to shame. Dude, thank you so much. That's really kind of you. That's really nice of you. That's interesting, a Daniel comparison. I've gotten Elijah ones before, but Daniel. What are you researching currently? I'm going heavy on Karl Marx. Let's do a little Karl Marx shaming for a while. Karl Marx was a disgusting man. And you know what's really interesting? Carl Jung talks about how before you attain true knowledge about a subject, you fantasize about it. And what that means is you don't know about it yet. So your mind creates all these ideas of what it is you're learning, et cetera, et cetera. It's like very poetic. It's very, it's poetry, essentially, right? Well, this actually mirrors like Karl Marx's life to a T, because Marx, before he wrote the Communist Manifesto, and here's the deal. I have a degree in philosophy. I have a degree in economics. Those are two very different things. Philosophy is you're philosophizing, right? You're coming up with ideas, metaphysical systems, et cetera, et cetera. Economics is data-based. It's math. It's econometrics, which is literally like a calculus-based economic math. It's very difficult, very difficult. Marx was not an economist. He was a philosopher, right? The Communist Manifesto is a 56-page document that it's a manifesto. It riles individuals up to abolish the economic system that's set in place, typically a capitalistic one, right? Or whatever. Socialistic, whichever. But the interesting thing is, before he became this philosopher, he's not an economist, take that out of your head entirely, he was a poet and a playwright. And it's interesting because it mirrors what Jung talks about of like presupposition. Before you have true knowledge of something, you're this sort of artistic, whimsical ideologue where you just are kind of, I don't even know if I use the word ideologue right, but there's a sort of like whimsical grandiosity towards like the infinite possibility of the knowledge you're about to embark on. And it shows the true intentionality behind his work, which is this sort of purely disruptive, destructive system. I mean, it's interesting to see like his poetry, which is all this evil, like Faustian it's Mephistopheles. How do you say it? It's fucking hard to say. Mephistophelan, whatever the fuck it is. It's like truly like everything he wrote about. He wrote this play called The Player, and it was about this violinist who was in commune with the devil, and he wears the robes of Christ as like literally the garments Christ, like really crazy shit, dude. He wrote these plays, and the plays were about one of them. What was it called? It's called The Pale Woman, and her like the lady kills herself by drinking hemlock, and 2 of his daughters died by poisoning themselves in suicide pacts with their husbands. I mean, it's just truly like, I would say nihilistic, but it's beyond nihilism, because nihilism is an apathetic lack of care. It's a lack. It's nothing. This is like destructive, you know? Really, really wild. Economics isn't math or science. You're telling that to someone who has a degree in economics, dude. It's literally a social science backed up by math. But yeah, he's a pretty... Yo, just got done streaming myself. I got some work to do. Catch up. Good viewer count. Sweet. Did Marxism infiltrate churches? Not really. Like, Marx, classically said that religion was the opiate of the masses, and he, was pretty anti-Christian, pretty anti-religion in general. In fact, in Russia, Lenin implemented, what was it called? It's called like the something. It's like the godless something godless, and they like destroyed all the churches and a lot of stuff. Really, really crazy stuff. But it's really, the Marx video I want to do, I want to focus on his poetry and his plays. He had another play that he wrote called, I can't remember how to say it. It's basically an anagram of Emmanuel, and it's just really, really dark, really satanic, crazy. Isn't opium the opium of the masses? Yeah, but not everybody does opium. But everybody, at some point, interacts with religion in some sense. What did they replace religion with? Nothing. Marxism, Marxist ideologies, communism. Sorry, I was kind of on a tangent, so I'm trying to read the chat here. But it's pretty crazy, pretty dark stuff. But all right, guys, I'm hopping off for tonight. This was just a super quick one. Thank you guys. I'll be streaming tomorrow. We're gonna probably go every day this week. Maybe not Thursday. Thursday I got a bunch of big stuff going on. But yeah, guys. God bless. I will be back tomorrow. We'll live stream tomorrow. Be safe. Maybe tomorrow is the rapture. You might get beamed up. If you get beamed up, and I don't, tell God I've been a good boy. I've been trying really hard lately. Love you guys. Seriously, love you guys. Be safe. Stay out of trouble. Don't let them get your loosh, okay? There's so much going on. Everybody, don't let them get your goat. Don't let them get you. Try to keep that energy to yourself, right? Peace. Oh, new song dropping. Maybe I'll play it right now. Actually, I don't know how I would do that. Let me see if I could figure it out. I don't know how I would do that. All right. First time you hear it, I want it to